Welcome back to MTN Live in the Mountains. So here on the couch with us, we have Joan Underwood and Catherine Graham, and they are with the High Country Brainstormers. Thank you guys so much for coming in and chatting with us.
Thank you.
Welcome. So let's talk a little bit about what is the High Country Brainstormers.
It's a support group for folks in this area who have had either been a survivor of a stroke, of a head injury of any kind, brain cancer, any kind of neurological trauma, and it's for those persons and their families, friends, people who just want to be part of knowing and learning. And it's a support group that's regular, as we are 3 years old now, and it started out of interest between myself and Joan, who is a survivor of a stroke. And so Joan, say a little bit about how it started.
Yeah. After my last, my most recent stroke, I was kind of curious because there was no current support group, and so I was telling my sister Mary, and then she told her husband, and then they contacted Brian Belcher and Deb Shook, and so that's kind of how it started.
That's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about your story?
I've had 3 strokes. The first one was undiagnosed. That was between the age of 10 and 12. And then my second one was when I was 42 and I was living in California. And my coworkers, no one knew what was wrong other than I couldn't talk. I just kind of sat, and how I got to the office without hurting someone driving to the office, I'm very grateful. But anyway, I spent the day at the emergency room. They did a lot of different tests, and then they realized that I had a CVA, and it was due to the hole in the heart that did not close. And shortly thereafter, in San Diego, they did a closure, and but unfortunately, 4 years after that, the device malfunctioned that caused my 3rd stroke. So, and I, because of my brain injury, I have aphasia. It has improved a great deal. Part of that is I read a lot aloud. I read emails, and that's helped me a lot. And also the aphasia group through the communication disorder group has helped me as well.
Well, that's great. Talk a little bit about how the group as well has helped you to, through the steps and everything. I'm sure it's got to be a big part of it.
Yes, I'm very grateful to Catherine and the people that go to the support group. It's not just for the survivors, but it's really for the caregivers, husbands, wives, any family member, because it affects the whole unit. Not just the survivor, but it does affect the other people.
How many people do you guys have come to your meetings?
It varies, of course. We have had upwards of 30 down to maybe a dozen. And it depends on what we're doing and the time of the year and so forth. And speaking of that, the way that we are organized is that during the winter months, when it becomes dark early and driving is an issue, we meet at lunch, and we have more of a social structure during the winter. And it's very fluid, you want kind of thing. And then the rest of the year we meet at 5:30. It's the last Tuesday of every month, 5:30 to 7. And the locations vary, but typically it's at the Wellness Center in the Rehabilitation Center part. So there's a segment to the right inside the Wellness Center that we meet at. And typically at night, then we have more instructive or more of a directed program type session. And I did bring a little list of different. We in years past we've had physicians come, pharmacists, psychologists, social worker, physical therapist, chiropractor, recreational therapist, music therapist, art therapist. I'm sure I'm leaving out some, but so we do try to get as many bases covered as we can, but we also then venture out into things like storytelling, Tai Chi, relaxation type activities. We have one couple that has published a book about their experiences, so we've had a book reading. I can't even think of them all, but the main thing that I'd like to say is when you think of support groups, you might think, well, you have to go and tell everything about yourself and feel uncomfortable and at ease, and we're not that kind of group. We're a group of friends. There's no hand-wringing at our sessions or our meetings. We have fun, make friendships, and just really share the tricks and the the ideas of having a new life and adjusting. So it's a lot of fun.
I was about to say, it sounds like you guys do have a lot of fun. It means you have all these great people come and talk.
Yeah, it's not just a talking group. You have people coming in and
we do things like we had music therapy. We did things with music, and it wasn't silly. It was quite helpful.
Like even the Tai Chi and stuff like that too.
Yeah. So,
and we've had a picnic in the fall, just to at the Greenway, which is really fun.
Right.
So maybe what is something that you could say to someone who has had a stroke, or maybe someone in their family who has gone through this, to maybe they're hesitant about wanting to join the group and they want to get involved. What would you say to them?
I would say go or come to the meeting. Don't be afraid to do this, because when you have a brain injury, your life kind of shuts down, and you don't know how to adjust. So I welcome anyone that is interested in coming. You will be welcomed, and we will share, our traumas to help you get back to your new life.
That's great. Well, it sounds like you guys are doing a great thing and helping a lot of people. So just kind of wish you guys the best of luck moving forward.
Thank you so much.
Is there anything else you guys would like to say about the group?
Our next meeting is still a lunch social meeting, and it's going to be this coming Tuesday at 12 o'clock at Mint, the Mint restaurant in Boone Heights area, and I'd like to share our phone numbers if we could.
Yes, of course.
And a website too if you have anything.
No, but that's
Not yet.
Okay.
That's a good project for us. My number that you can reach at any time would be 964-5981.
Okay.
And my telephone number is 828-367-0374. Or you could send an email to me at joanunderwood2002@yahoo.com.
So if anyone has any questions for y'all, are they welcome to email you or give you a phone call?
Yes, absolutely.
And if you don't catch the number right now, you can call the Rehabilitation Center, which is listed in the phone book. And so that would be another way to contact us.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in and talking with us. We
Thank you. We appreciate it very much.
Oh, thank you.
We'll be back in a minute with more MTN Channel 18.